Welcome, my fellow fans of Clash Royale. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let's get right into the action. We are talking about perfect battles in Clash Royale. Now, this doesn't happen often. Maybe in this first battle, you might see it a little more often just because you've got Jayskis or Jasks. I don't know these guys are their names. I can't figure them out. Jay, he is going up against a level 9, so he's got the big advantage being level 10. Okay, not a huge advantage, and obviously, well, it looks like, nope. The Hog Rider's not going to get to the tower. Even the Princess shooting across the lanes. The Barbarians right in front, stopping those Spear Goblin spears. And what we are talking about today are battles in which your opponent does not take a single solitary hit point off of any of your towers. That's right. These battles will conclude with perfection. And early on, 45 seconds in, Shirok's knows he or she is in deep trouble. Even the Princess getting some action on that King's Tower, well below 50% by the time those units finally go down. And it is a big hole to climb out of, especially when your counter push is just wiped out. Yes, the Barbarian doesn't get a single swipe of the sword across that tower, and the Princess moves forward. So Jay, in the driver's seat of this battle right now, could just sit back and go on defense for the rest of this battle and guarantee the quick 1 crown win, but instead he keeps the pressure on. The Hog Rider, the Skeletons moving in and just adding insult to injury. It doesn't look good. You know that Jay tastes blood in the water, or smells it. How does a shark? Anyway, Jay knows that he's close to a 3 crown victory here. His opponent desperately trying to mount some sort of comeback, but it's just not going to happen. Jay saving up for reset one more time, and here comes the big push. It is the beginning of the end for Shirok's. The Barbarians go down. The Princess once again, but she's taken out by a very expensive fireball. The Barbarians get there. That's a lot of damage. Under 900 hit points left on that King's Tower now. And this is pretty much all over. No stopping these last units. The Hog Rider is going to get all the way to the tower. There's a zap spell, and that is the end of it right there. A 3 crown win. Jay's tower still in perfect shape. He throws up the good game. That's kind of a tough one. You throw that up, it is a little bit troll no matter how you look at it. That wasn't even close. Good game for Jay, maybe. So here comes Freak Show, another fine member of the clan, full attack. And this time things are a little bit more fair, 10 versus 10. So starting out innocently enough, well, maybe not that innocently. Freak Show dropping the Golem at the very start of this raid at the back. So the Golem push often happens with these decks late in the game. Freak Show choosing to go right off the start with the Golem from the very back. And it looks like his opponent kind of caught there undecided. He waits several seconds and then finally drops the Barbarians. But watch the clutch bomber. The Barbarians focused on the Golem. The bomber goes to work on those Barbarians, and they are vaporized. The Golem all the way full size to the Elixir Collector. It is going to take that Elixir Collector out and turn after the tower. The Valkyrie takes down the ground units, and as the smoke clears from this first confrontation, almost no hit points at all. The Spear Goblin, 1 spear on that tower. For all that effort, everything is pretty much reset. We're back to ground zero. So Freak Show is going to see what he can do with this 55 hit point lead as both players getting back up towards full, and again, the opponent dropping the same Elixir Collector right in the same spot. Freak Show starts out exactly the same as before, so it's kind of a bit of Groundhog Day right here as both players still are going the exact same route that they took at the very beginning of this battle. And here's where things change. Wen is going to counter this time with the minions first and then throw in a balloon, trying to see if he can't get towards the tower with this balloon. So the balloon and the Golem are going to cross, and it looks like that balloon will probably get to the tower. No structures to distract it, but no, and the bomb doesn't quite reach. The arrows miss the minions and the tower as well. So Freak Show's tower is still at 100% health. The full-size Golem now has reached the tower along with a huge pack of minions. This does not look good. As soon as that free spell wears off, that tower is going to go down. Didn't even take the free spell, and now a massive group of units on top of that King's Tower. This is just going to take a couple of seconds, and this battle is going to be over. Arrows for good measure. The minions, the Golem are doing it. That is it. A very, very quick 3 crown win for Freak Show against a similar level player with not a single hit point in damage taken to any of his towers. And now things are going to get that much more difficult as DFAC is facing a higher level player, 10 versus 11. So it's going to be tough to get the win, much less to keep those towers untouched. But DFAC starting out with the Elixir Collector good out there to grab elixir and of course grab the attention of a unit like a giant or a balloon or a hog rider. So this player that he's opposing has 3 different units that are going to go straight for structures, and that can turn out to be a big weakness in a deck because you have a lack of defense. It doesn't look like this player has any defensive structures either, so right away maybe some fundamental problems with this player's deck. The giant and the balloon both headed for that elixir collector. The balloon goes down, the giant gets there, but that elixir collector has done its job. It distracted the giant and no damage to the tower. Big army of skeletons taken out quickly by a zap spell, and now you've got a big push and a player in trouble. You can see he had nothing but a rage spell, now a hog rider available. So again, those are the fundamental problems of this deck this player was running. Finally, he has the wizard available, but by the time that wizard came up, that tower was nearly gone. And now you can see the active cards in the opponent's deck are all tower seeking cards and the rage spell. So again, a fundamental problem that leaves you vulnerable to attacks. The giant is, luckily for the opponent, for now anyway, going to be able to peel these units off and let them work on the giant while the tower works on them. But it's not going to work for long. As the giant goes down, the minions move in, easily counteracted by the zap spell and the archers. Those minions are gone. And although the opponent's going to drop some arrows right here, there is still not enough to one-shot the archers, and they get in there and just about take that tower down as we're almost into the final minute and double elixir of this battle. So Defact's sitting pretty right now. He pretty much knows what his opponent has as far as cards, so out goes another elixir collector. So double protection for his units, and the opponent is going to try a balloon skeleton army push. But the skeleton army's worst nightmare, the zap spell, is quickly going to take them all out of the picture even before they can take out the knight. So the knight gets a chance to work on that wizard. The wizard is down, the balloon is down, and once again, units are moving after that tower. The Minion Horde trying to counteract it, but the knight gets through, and that is going to be the 1 crown lead in the final 35 seconds of this battle. And yes, Defact has still not taken a single hit point in damage with this deck. Normally I say it's more the player than the deck. Right here, I think this deck had fundamental problems, and it's probably not a good way to go. Too many units that are just going to seek buildings, the balloon, the giant, and the hog rider. And once again, a massive group of units moving after the opponent's tower. And again, Defact's use of the elixir collectors, keeping those towers pristine. Not a single arrow touched them, not a single hit point lost. The count runs down, and Defact is going to win 1 crown to 0 with a perfect battle. So we've got time for one more replay, and this one comes to us from a clan other than Full Attack. Yes, it's none other than Peter $17 Awesome, the player SSJ Rudolph $0. And as you can see, he is facing a Pekka Prince deck. There's a wizard in there, so it's not Pekka Double Prince, maybe a similar version to that with the princess, the arrows, the elixir collector, and the Minion Horde. So JJ's deck is a little bit unusual, but again, it really comes down to, except for the last battle, we talked about that exception, more so the player than the cards. JJ, though, getting that balloon all the way to the tower right away. It gets a shot off. It is going to fall, but not before it does. And right here, it looks like J. Rudolph has an invisible barrier in front of that tower. As this confrontation clears, he doesn't take a single hit point in damage from any of those units. Now, the Dark Prince will not quite get there. The Pekka is on the move now. And the Pekka easily countered now, of course, by Rudolph's deck because he's got the Inferno Tower. And his opponent has the wrong strategy for this approaching Pekka. The wizard in behind would be great for crowd control, for taking out large groups of smaller units. But you've got to get somebody else in there to distract or take down that Inferno Tower. It melts through that Pekka, no problem. And although the princess takes down the Inferno Tower, you'll notice both of the defending towers are still untouched. The Ice Wizard further protecting things from that princess. And the Dark Prince looks like he might get in there, but he's easily countered by the Barbarians, slowed down by the Ice Wizard. And right here, a dangerous combination is on its way. The Ice Wizard in behind the Barbarians and the balloon. And again, that balloon is going to get all the way to the tower and get another shot off before it falls. And that tower now down to under 700 hit points. It doesn't look good, and I think J. Rudolph knows it as he starts to troll his opponent just a little bit with the taunts as we go down to just about the last minute of this battle. And right as you think that wizard is going to get a shot off, no, distracted quickly by the Dark Prince. The wizard is history, the Dark Prince moving forward now, and some archers in support, and that could be big problems for this tower. In fact, that tower is going to go down, and there is the 1-0 crown lead under a minute left, and all sorts of units. In fact, yes, it's a rage quit. The opponent has left the match. You can see the elixir sitting at 10. He's given up. He knew he had no chance. The opponent has left the building. We can only hope that the iPhone or the iPad is still okay and hasn't been damaged. So there it is, a bunch of players winning without losing a single hit point off of any of their towers. Let me know if you guys have done it. Let me know what else you would like to see from future episodes. And as always, thank you guys so much for sticking around all the way to the end of this watermelon. I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And I hope to see every last one of you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, full of tick might be okay, but total damage is better. Join my clan, pay to $17, awesome. Join.
Peter, what do you think this is? Clash of Clans Global?
Bye.